Andrea, whenever you're ready, nice loud voice.
Hello, my name is Andrea Buera, and on the morning of February 17th, 2018, I was assaulted by Trey Neverson, also known as Trey Songz. I was attending an after party when Trey began yelling at me, choking me, punching me, and ultimately he knocked me to the ground. While I was on the ground, he continued punching me, and he did not stop until his security guard pulled him off of me. People stood and watched as some scurried away. When I called an Uber, he threw both of my phones over the cliff. I was crying, terrified, in shock, and I just wanted to go home. I had to go to the hospital because he hit me so hard that I had a concussion and was throwing up from the migraines. By the next day, I had bruises on my face, body, and neck that only continued to get darker. I have been emotional, embarrassed, in and out of cry spells, afraid, and have had a difficult time coping. I wake up in the middle of the night having flashbacks as it constantly replays in my head. The most difficult part about this, above the physical and emotional injuries, has been having to explain this to my 7-year-old daughter. I've opted into doing this press conference today because I'd like to stand up for myself. As a victim of a crime, as a woman, and as a mother. Trey, you know what you did. And you know what you did was wrong. To those of you who stood and watched and did nothing, you know what you did was wrong too. Trey, I'd like an apology. I want you to get help. And although I'm not your first victim, I'd like to be your last.
Thank you, Andrea. So I'm so proud and inspired to represent Andrea Buera. A month ago, after the terrible morning when Andrea says she was assaulted, Andrea did everything right. She did what we tell women to do. She got out of there. She immediately went home. She spoke to family members about what happened. That same day she went to the hospital and she made a report to the police. And she has fully cooperated with law enforcement here in Los Angeles as well as Michigan. And yet, Trey Songz has not been arrested. Andrea Buera is not the first woman to say that Trey assaulted her, but I want her to be the last. Here's what we know just from news reports about his past. He has repeatedly, verbally and physically assaulted women, including his signature crime, damaging and destroying women's phones. Just 3 months ago, a Philadelphia woman sued Trey Songz for allegedly attacking her outside of a strip club. She says that when she went to take his picture, he smacked her phone out of her hand and right into her face, breaking her glasses. The day that Trey Songz allegedly attacked Andrea, he was already on probation in Michigan. He pleaded guilty there after being charged with aggravated assault and punching a police officer just 6 months ago. As a result of this incident with Andrea, his probation should have been immediately revoked, and he should have been arrested. Twice in 2014, Trey Songz was accused of verbally attacking women, grabbing and breaking their phones as well. For most of us, our phones are our lifeline to the world. Destroying a woman's phone is an attempt to scare her and control her. In 2012, Trey Songz was arrested for assaulting a woman at a Queens, New York strip club. The woman got an order of protection against him after she says he gave her a black eye. He was also arrested in 2007 for resisting arrest and disorderly conduct with police officers assigned to one of his concerts. And these are just the incidents that we know about, that have been reported. I stand with Andrea today to say that violence against women must stop. Stop with the high-priced lawyers getting celebrities off the hook so they can assault people and cause this damage over and over again. Stop sending investigators to dig up dirt on Andrea and harass her family. Just stop. Last week, we went to court and obtained a domestic violence restraining order against Trey Songz so that Andrea's right to live and work in peace would be respected. The hearing on the permanent injunction is March 27. Andrea plans to attend and testify. This takes incredible courage, and Andrea, I am very pleased to say, has found that courage. And I and all the attorneys and staff in my law firm stand with her. A number of witnesses were present when Andrea was allegedly assaulted, friends and employees of Trey Songz. It takes a lot of strength for a friend or an employee of a guy accused of attacking a woman to be a witness against him. But I believe there is one person out there who has a conscience, who wants to do the right thing and reach out to us to help us get justice for Andrea. If you were a witness that day, I urge you to contact me here at the Bloom Firm. You can do it confidentially via our website, which is thebloomfirm.com. Don't be a bystander to domestic violence. In addition, we ask any other women or men who may have been the victims of violence by Trey Songz to contact me, please. If you like, I will keep your information confidential. It's time to stand up for your rights. It's time for accountability. Trey Songz, as a wealthy celebrity, you seem to have gotten away with this many times in the past. But the Me Too movement is powerful, it is here, and it is not going away. And women like Andrea are very bravely standing up for their rights. And we are not giving up in this case until we get justice. Trey Songz, you picked on the wrong woman this time. Any questions?
How did you know Trey Songz? Were you met him at the party?
No, I've known Trey for about 3 years now. I work in the nightclubs and in Hollywood and have worked numerous occasions.
And have you spoken to him since the incident or recently since deciding to hire Lisa?
Since then, no.
So investigators have what? How have they been harassing?
They've been an investigator that Mr. Songz or his attorneys have hired have been calling her family members repeatedly. Obviously, they do not want to talk to him. So that's what we're talking about.
Do we know what triggered the attack?
Well, I understand the question, but there's no excuse for violence against a woman. So it really doesn't matter. He obviously got angry at her in the context of this party where there was a group of people there. And, whatever it is that set him off, it doesn't justify the acts of violence that she's alleging.
When was the last time you had contact with Trey?
That night.
That night.
I sent him a text message. Well, this happened in the morning, so that night I sent him a text message.
So February 17th.
Yes.
Yeah.
And other than an apology, are you seeking any sort of financial support of any kind, or what are you hoping to get out of this?
So we have not filed a civil lawsuit. Obviously, that is an option. All options have remained open. But what I would really like is for the police to pursue this. Again, this is a man who was on probation for another act of violence. Normally, a second act during the probation period would yank him off of probation and get him arrested. So I'm not sure what the holdup is on that. And I think the criminal justice system should be acting expeditiously. civil lawsuit is always possible in the future. And in addition, we filed for the temporary restraining order to get her protected. I don't believe we asked for any money on that. She may be entitled to some small amount of restitution, but it would be negligible. The main thing is to get an order of protection, which we got immediately from the judge. And we want to go in and get that permanent injunction to prevent him or anybody acting on his behalf from hassling her, for even being in the same room with her. Okay? Thank you, everyone.